More details on that meeting with small business owners, a local school exploring National Heroes Day, and an in-depth look at sickle cell disease.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Natalia Hall. It's so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance giving more details tonight on that meeting held with small business owners. Those business operators say fees are hurting the Grand Bahama economy and making it difficult for businesses to survive. The Finance Minister, in an interview with ZNS News, says the concerns will be taken into account. The meeting held in the office of the Prime Minister was well attended by members of Freeport small business community. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance K. Peter Turnquest says the meeting was very productive as a number of issues were discussed. Nonetheless, he maintains that the government has a responsibility to carry out the laws of the Bahamas in a professional way.
It ensures that there's equity among the business owners, that there is not some who are paying and some who are not, some who are being subject to inspections and some who are getting away free. We want an across-the-board, even, equitable process. We want a seamless, courteous process that enhances and encourages efficiency, both on both sides of the equation.
A major concern of the business owners are the amount of fines they receive from the Customs Department.
When you look at those who may have received the fine, as from my understanding, it's only less than a handful who have received any kind of fine. But in those cases, you would find there was not a first offense, and the fines were, quite frankly, not as significant as one may be led to believe. But of course, if you're only making a couple $100 a week, of course, any fine is too much. And so I do appreciate and understand that. We don't want anybody to be fined. We want people to comply with the law. We want everybody to follow the process in a disciplined way so that we can have an efficient and an orderly process.
The business environment was another issue for discussion.
The government of the Bahamas is working very diligently about bringing investment to Grand Bahama. You would have heard the Prime Minister today say that we're going back right now to consider some investments, which will hopefully be very beneficial to the island and start to recreate this, or give this jump start to the economy that we need in order to get things really going, so that issues like that are affecting these small business owners will actually go away or become muted with respect to the increase in revenue that we hope will be generated as a result of these investments.
The Finance Minister notes that he left the meeting with some new ideas, and he assures the public that more information will be provided so they could get a better understanding of the process.
There's no questioning and premature judging of the process. Everybody knows exactly what is expected, and in that way we can make informed decisions about how we do business.
Today is National Heroes Day, a special holiday established as a time to remember those Bahamians who contributed to the development of the Bahamas. The decision was made 5 years ago to set aside the second Monday in October every year to recognize those noble sons and daughters of this country. After decades of celebrating October 12th as the Discovery Day holiday, today our ZNS News team took to the streets to see if residents appreciate the significance of this holiday.
I appreciate the holiday, and I appreciate our national heroes, those ones who paved the way for us, and those who made that step, and those who did some things would made it better for us and for our kids, you know. And they're our own people, and our Bahamian people. So I appreciate our own for doing what they did.
Everyone who had done something for the Bahamas should be recognized, should give them the recognition and the most respect.
But some residents believe there are many who need to be educated in order to bring about a greater awareness of National Heroes Day.
I think the government needs to place more emphasis on explaining it and saying who are our national heroes.
I would think that a lot of our people are so used to Christopher Columbus, they just coming into the place of where they are adjusting to it. And so I would say some of them need to have more knowledge about what all Heroes Day is, what it's all about.
They all need to read, learn, go to the library and read upon things, the history of their own country. A lot of them know about other places, but they don't know nothing about their own country. So that's the problem.
The younger folk some of them don't really they're not really interested in the how the Bahamas was formed after independence and even before that. A lot of them they just don't read about some of the things that in our history.
Students of Hampton Academy expressing what National Heroes Day really means for them. Some, it was an opportunity to reflect on the contributions made by some noted Bahamians. Let's take a look. In honor of National Heroes Day, students of Hampton Academy dressed up as their national heroes. There were a lot of unique ideas. Some decided to dress as politicians, pastors, and even athletes. Principal of the school, January Comer, says in the past some parents and students were confused as to what the holiday actually meant because the name of the holiday had changed. She says it was vital to educate the entire school body on the importance of the holiday.
We decided this year, before the holiday comes up, which is Monday, that we would let the parents research it a little bit too and have their children dress as one of our Bahamian national heroes. So that is the importance of this. So as you see, we have a few of the kids that did come out in our national heroes attire.
She also explained some of the fun activities the school had planned for the day.
They are excited. What we have today, we're just going to do a show and tell. The kids are going to basically educate their classmates of who they are, and we're just going to talk about different things, show them different videos, just so that we have a full understanding of the purpose of this day.
Now these little ones were a bit shy, but some were excited to share who is their national hero. Who are you dressed as today?
Dr. Miles Monroe. Girl and girl. Track star. Basketball player.
In other news, immigration officers canvassing several communities over the weekend in search of undocumented persons residing in the country illegally. 11 Haitian nationals were apprehended, 7 males and 4 females. 2 of the females were found in an apartment in Freeport. They claim that they arrived on board a Haitian sloop a few months ago. One of the men taken into custody was working as a cook at a eatery on Queens Highway. Reports say he arrived in the Bahamas earlier this year. Now all of the undocumented immigrants were processed and will be sent back to Haiti. Also, the U.S. Coast Guard handing over 2 Cuban migrants at the Lacayon Harbor this morning. The men were intercepted at sea in a rustic vessel. The Cubans claim that they left Cuba a few days ago and were headed to Florida when they were stopped by the Coast Guard. For one of the Cubans, this is his 4th failed attempt to enter the United States. The Cubans will be transported to the detention center in New Providence and then sent back home to Cuba. Don't go away, there's more news right after this break.